KSMR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and joining today is Ernie Reyes Jr. How you doing, brother?
What's up?
It's good to see you, man. I'm completely in awe, completely shocked to see you. I'm so excited, man. How's your day going at
It's going
Pasadena
good.
Comic-Con?
It's going good. You know, it's a local show. I'm here living in LA, so, you know, it's only like 15, 20 minutes away. Came with my daughter, Lotus Blossom, and we just been hanging out, meeting the fans, just, you know, it's been a good day.
It took me a little bit to come up and see you because every time you'd have a bunch of people over here and I'm like, I gotta wait for my time.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And luckily I was able to come and see you. But yeah, your daughter's here as well, third generation, because I believe your pops kind of started off in martial arts as well, right?
Yeah. My dad was my martial arts teacher. Been doing martial arts pretty much my whole life. And, you know, my daughter following in the footsteps, so
that's
it's all good.
What was it like coming up in a martial arts household like that?
You know, it was very disciplined, you know what I mean? We were training all the time. But it was a very creative environment. You know, we were constantly coming up with fight scenes, doing fight choreography, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it was good. It was good. You know, I'm grateful that I grew up that way, because martial arts is, you know, my whole life kind of revolves around martial arts. You really don't know the benefits of that kind of thing. You think it's just about movement or learning how to fight, but as you go through life and you're faced with certain challenges, then you see your martial arts training really come out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I mean, you've done a lot of things. You've been in such movies as, you know, Ninja Turtles 2. You've been Surf Ninja. You fought The Rock in The Rundown. You've done so much. But you kind of started super early with Red Sonja at 13 years old, right? Against, you have Schwarzenegger and Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was good. It was actually my second movie. The first movie that I did was called The Last Dragon.
Oh, that's right.
And then the second movie I did was Red Sonja, Schwarzenegger, Brigitte, and that was awesome. I mean, we filmed in Italy. We were there for like 4 months, and I was riding horseback every day, training with Arnold, doing swords, huge sets. You know, it was an amazing like childhood experience.
That's so cool to start off so young and have those kind of experiences. And pretty quickly, you kind of climb up the ranks. You already, for the first Ninja Turtles, you start off as Donatello's stunt double, right? Is that how that works? Yeah, I
did all the martial arts for the character Donatello and choreographed Donatello's fight scenes. And the stunt coordinator, Pat Johnson, who I'd known since I was about 8 years old, called me up one day when one of the guys from Hong Kong hurt his back in pre-production and had me jump in. So it was 3 guys from Hong Kong and me that were doing all the martial arts in the movie. So yeah, it was a great thing.
What was it like? I mean, you don't know it's gonna blow up the way that it does. At the time, you're in these heavy suits. What was that? What were you thinking? Like, how is this gonna work? Or did you believe it? Or how did that feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 different things. It's like, as far as like the action and the martial arts, you know, that was very challenging. We were filming all day long, 12, 14 hours. You know what I'm saying? And doing fight scenes all day long. So that's tough work. You're in the suit, you're sweaty, you're hot. It's very physically demanding. But, you know, I had already been making movies now for, you know, a handful of years. And so I knew we were doing something special. You know, Jim Henson did all the costume design. And so, you know, when you're filming a movie, whether what you're doing is good or if it's not so good, you know. And I knew what we were doing was great. You never know how these things are going to work out in terms of, is it going to be a blockbuster hit? But we knew we were doing something great.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of good and great, you do so great in that film that you get bumped up in number 2 as a character, as Kino. What was that like for you when you get that call, like, hey man, you're in it now?
Yeah, I mean,
or the hiring process too. I mean, to get that role.
So after the first movie, actually before the end of the first movie, you know, the producers from Golden Harvest, which was the production company that created the film, and they are known for all of their martial arts films. Golden Harvest were the people that were doing Bruce Lee's movies, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, so they come from the world of martial arts films. And by the end of the first movie, the producers had told me already that, hey, we're going to write you into the second movie as a human character. So the first time that I read the script, I was like, man, I'm in the whole movie here. Like, I have like a major role. So it was very exciting times.
Teen heartthrob for sure. You were really getting it, bro. That was
rocking
cool.
the mullet.
Yeah,
you know?
dude, it holds up. You know, especially like just classic lines. You know, they're like, "Come on, Casey, Kino, come on!" You know, trying to get in. What are some of your favorite scenes from that movie? You think?
I mean, the opening sequence. You know, just being able to open the whole movie, have a great fight scene. I was able to choreograph that as well.
You're choreographing these too?
Yeah.
God, that's even crazier, you know? To put that all together, hey, move like this, move like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's my hats off to you, brother. That's
Thanks,
really
man.
Cool.
I mean, I grew up like that, you know, with my dad training, choreographing fight scenes. So, you know, it was something that we did and I was confident in doing. But that was really awesome. I mean, the whole experience was great, you know.
And I mean, right away, people start, you know, I know this earlier, but you have that side kicks. You have the role there, you know, lead role there. And then you hop into, after Ninja Turtles 2, you hop into Surf Ninjas, you know. Also, that's basically total 90s flick, you know what I mean? Fits the era. If you were there, you get it, you know. What were your memories from that one?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, New
Rob
Line, Rob Schneider, Leslie Nielsen,
yes.
You know, Kelly Hu, who went on to do, you know, great things. So, yeah, it was awesome. You know, after Ninja Turtles 2 came out, New Line came to me and said, hey, we want to do some stuff. I brought in the writer, Dan Gordon, who had written the pilot for Sidekicks, you know, I don't know, it was probably almost 10 years prior. And so he had worked with me in developing vehicles for me revolving around martial arts. And so he was actually the writer. A lot of people don't know that the connection between Sidekicks and Surf Ninjas was the writer. And so, yeah, it was a great experience. I got to work with my dad. He played Zatch in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was cool. It was a great experience. You know, it's cool that 25 years later or so, that people really still dig that movie.
People love this movie. And Surf Ninjas, what more could you want? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's total 90s. If you weren't in the 90s, this is what the 90s is summed up, for sure.
That's what's up. Yeah.
That's so cool, man. And then, I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is Rush Hour 2. I love that, my favorite buddy cop movie for sure. And you even have a role in there. What was that like to, you know?
Yeah, it was quick, you know. I was just happy to be there. It's a huge franchise, you know. It was the sequel to the Rush Hour.
Cat named Zing, man.
Yeah.
Cat named Zing.
I was hoping to get a little fight scene in there with Jackie.
Too.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking that maybe it was a deleted scene or something.
No, I think it kind of ran out of time, you know. But hey, I got to do it. I work with Jackie, who's obviously, you know, a huge star in the world of the martial arts genre. So it was cool. All my experiences are cool, you know. Big roles, small roles, medium-sized roles. Doesn't really matter. It's like getting to work with great people, you know.
That's cool, man. Especially all the work that you've done. I mean, speaking of fight scenes, you know, you weren't able to get the one with Jackie Chan that you wanted, but having a fight with The Rock must be a feather in your cap, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite fight scene on film that I've ever done. And, you know, when you do fights, it's a lot of it is not just like what you're doing, but like who you're fighting, you know? And that's what really made it so special. You got The Rock, he's huge comparison to me. And, you know, worked with Andy Chang, who was Jackie Chan's stunt double and had worked with Jackie for decades. So we really were able to kind of get that feel in a different way, you know what I mean? But Andy is awesome at what he does, and yeah, it's one of my favorite cinematic moments that I've ever been part of.
You guys worked everything, the ropes and everything, the way you guys launched him, the way you were coming at him from every angle.
Yeah,
that's a super badass fight scene, dude.
Yeah, right on, man.
In a good comedy movie for you to rock in that into.
Yeah, that's
gonna last forever. That's so cool. You also have you were the cemetery warrior in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Right? What was that role for you?
Yeah, that was awesome. It was a smaller role, but it was really a dream come true. You know, I had grown up.
Indiana Jones, baby.
I mean, you know, when I got the call, you know, it was like, hey, I got a message like Indiana Jones is looking for you or whatever. I'm like, what? And that was awesome because I grew up as a huge fan of Steven Spielberg and all of his movies. I grew up on the Indiana Jones movies. I saw them, you know, in the theater when they first came out, and so that was an amazing experience. Just that was like something where I was like, wow, this is amazing, because I was just a little kid in the movie theater watching, Indiana Jones, and decades here later, I'm getting to work on the production, and Steven Spielberg's there, and it was just amazing.
That's it's so cool to be a part of something like that, And you've been a part of so many cool things. I just wanted to say thank you so much. What do you have next on your plate? Where can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, you can follow me at Ernie Reyes Jr. across all platforms. And, we're working a lot more behind the scenes. Producing, directed a Wiz Khalifa video called Rolling Papers 2.
That's cool.
Yeah, and just kind of moving more behind the camera, working on developing some stuff for my daughter.
That's so cool.
So, you just got to keep evolving and keep moving forward. So that's what we're doing, It's a lifetime. I'm grateful that I have had a lifetime in films and television and continue to kind of pursue my dreams.
I love it, man, and I want to be there for every minute of it. I don't want to take up too much of your time. You guys got things rocking over here. I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on my platform.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
So for Ernie Reyes Jr., I am Heartthrob Rob, and if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio. Coffin is spelled with a K, and that's all for today.
ASMR Coffin Radio.